This week's episode of Cursed Earth Radio's Weekly Dread is brought to you by Node Bar.
No. Duh.
This is Cursed Earth Radio.
What's up, Dark Judges, Desperados, and dudes in dick-shaped helmets? You're listening to Cursed Earth Radio's Weekly Dread, where your best friends in the whole wide world tell you all about this week's exciting 2000 AD Raw.
And this week we're doing 2237. We've got part 2 of Judge Dredd Removal Man. Mephistopheles wrapped up fucking surprisingly quick. Department K continues the Kirby worship. Skip Tracer is where the Diabolic should have been. And Chimsky's Law makes me worry more and more for the safety of our favorite simian, Noam Chomsky.
Hey, this is Heavy Metal Kid.
It's Cool Johnny Cool, and you're listening to...
Cursed Earth Radio?
Sure.
Keep listening, creeps.
I like how when I pause to let you do it, you don't, but then sometimes you just go over top of me for no damn reason.
I like to keep you guessing.
Yeah. So, how you been? It's been a bit since we talked last.
It's been so long, yes. Strangely enough, although in reality it's only been a few minutes, I was much happier when we were recording the previous one because I don't like some things in this prog.
I know.
I was disappointed. Like Dave Kendall's art on Mephistopheles is awesome on that cover. Shout out to Dave Kendall.
Once again, have you ever known Dave Kendall to not do something that's awesome?
No, never. I will say, as used to Dave Kendall art as I am, having read so much and owning a little piece of it, I also didn't readily recognize this as a Dave Kendall cover when I saw it. And I'm not saying it's bad by any means, but I don't know. I guess I'm not used to Dave Kendall drawing mechanical robot things. I'm used to wet and squishy.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I was going to say this may seem weird, but Dave's art on Dead World is moist. It's always pussy and drippy.
Yeah. I was not used to, I guess, underwater mechanical Warhammer-esque architecture is a whole different realm, but beautiful nonetheless. And I just now looking over it again and realizing that is a giant whale, which really gives you some scale on Mephistopheles.
Where I get one of them, not the whale, but the giant demon robot. Where that is?
We're not going to find out because Mephistopheles came to an end.
Well, this part,
yes.
Consider this the hors d'oeuvre, or the hors d'oeuvres, if you will.
Oh, whoa!
The hors d'oeuvres.
Oh my God! I don't know about any hors divorce. I've only been married once, but.
So hey, I got a fun, awkward story for you.
Okay. Right.
So we took my father up with us to Pittsburgh last Saturday. My band's former drummer sent a care package. It came in. He sent us a gift card for food because, like we said episodes ago, when there's a loss in the family, people want to help out any way they can. In this region, it's eating. So he sent us a gift card for Buca di Beppo, which we always joked translated to the basement of my Italian friend Ben, because it is so overly stereotypically Italian garish. But the food's good and it's huge portions. So we took that up to Pittsburgh, and we were talking. It was getting close to West Virginia Day, and we were talking about how the state was founded and rebellion, this, that, and the other. When you talk about West Virginia Day, you always talk about the coal miners and the Battle of Blair Mountain that occurred years after. But that conversation led me to try to get my dad interested in some of the things I do that he's not interested in. And I said, speaking of coal miners, I've been really trying to put together a costume from this horror movie called My Bloody Valentine, and the main antagonist, Harry Warden, is a coal miner, and I thought that might spark my dad's interest. And I rattle off all the specifics about putting the costume together and what it's going to take, and he just looks at me and blinked, and I'm like, oh shit. Well, I tried.
You can't win them all. I mean, you probably, my guess is with your dad, you probably lost him at I'm trying to put together a costume. That's probably where you lost me.
Yeah, he stopped being a kid years ago, and I have never given it up.
No, you should never. You should never. But
No.
yeah, I know. I've experienced some of the same reactions from my dad as well,
Hmm.
who is one of those guys that worked in a factory and came home and just kind of that's what he did. He never had any hobbies, and I always found that really weird. But at some point, I realized like because of his generation, our generation has a completely different outlook. So it's almost like I think for our parents and all the hard work and just kind of killing themselves for their jobs that they did, we are a generation that said, "Hey, these people they're missing the big element of what brings joy and happiness. So we need to,
Yeah.
I mean, not that everybody who did that's unhappy. I just mean our generation being a whole lot more concerned with the non-work related things in life."
Yeah, fuck a bunch of work, man. Speaking of our dude Harry Warden, NECA is releasing a Harry Warden for their next wave of their Toonie Terrors line. So I can't wait. He comes with a little box, chocolate box of chocolate hearts. You know, the Valentine's thing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
bigger question is, why haven't we got an ultimate Harry Warden, like the big figure in the big window box? Where's that?
Oh man, years ago, I had one that I had someone make me. I had someone make me a custom Harry Warden and a custom Cropsy from the Burning. And when I moved, I sold and mostly gave away all my action figures to our mutual friend. And you've never let me live down the fact that I gave him the Halloween figures that you wanted.
Didn't even get an offer. I want to buy that shit off you. Didn't even get an offer.
At that point, I don't think we were hanging out like we do now. Like, I think you were still just that weird guy whose penis didn't work from down the block.
That's what I thought about you. It's fun being friends.
Yo, let's talk about the Dredd story, which really progressed in a pretty grim way.
He killed a kid in front of a bus full of tourists.
I thought, because we're reading Chimsky and it's so positive, and it's like, all right, Chimsky, now there's a moral dilemma. What do you do? Do you save yourself? Do you do this or that? I was like, oh, at the end of that last episode, it's like, oh man, he assassinated this guy in front of Dredd, and there's a kid watching. What will he do? He's going to kill this kid and make it look like a suicide. He throws his ass off of a building.
But unbeknownst to him, because he's working too fast and making mistakes, he threw him off a building in front of a hover bus full of murder tourists.
Yep. And the element of, I know, like, this bothering Dredd, because Dredd's like, he shot this guy with a pellet that had some poison on it, and it was almost undetectable. The guy died of a supposed heart attack, but Dredd's not taking it. He's not buying it. And so
does he ever?
Turning. No, never. He's always looking for something. And as always, he's beating the shit out of some perp in the alley, stewing on it. Yep. Hello.
There you are.
Oh,
you trailed off into a computer echo chamber hellscape. Are you okay?
I'm still alive. Are you still alive?
I'm here.
All right. But he's just making things worse for himself, because here comes Judge Dredd's kind of got some ideas, but now the guy's killed a kid, and Dredd's tracking down that lead. And I think in the next episode, he's going to have to track down every person in the bus and kill them.
Yeah, he's going to kill a whole busload of people now.
It's just getting out of hand. And when he confronted the kid was like, "Yeah, I told my mom, she didn't believe me." So,
well, I got to go kill her now too. He's just And correct me if I'm wrong, but when we were looking, our assassin and his wife are looking at new bodies to strap her head to. This is what they did in Guatemala, right? They're keeping these people healthy and fit only to behead them to sew other people's heads to their bodies, right?
Yeah, I really couldn't figure that out. Like, because as I was wondering the same thing, but I'm also wondering if these are like, no, as I look at the panel, it says age, this, date of birth, this. So yeah, apparently they're doing this, but wasn't that illegal when they were doing it in Guatemala?
Yeah, but they didn't stop him.
Maybe these are synthetic brainless bodies. You know what I mean?
This don't look synthetic or brainless.
Well, there's technology's gone quite a long way in the future. A real doll is a whole different level.
HOLE, different level.
Yeah, and I'll say this for our listeners out there: we have a mutual friend who.
Please God, no.
Now I feel like I shouldn't tell the story, but what the fuck? So
You probably shouldn't.
we have a mutual
no.
friend who has struggled to find a lady friend in his time, and at some
Here's
point,
the podcast.
when he was younger, he got into some trouble because he was using a vegetable for a fleshlight, essentially. Now, don't ask too many questions because I don't know too many answers. But somehow there was a pepper involved and it didn't work out. So I was talking to our friend, and I said to him, "I said, you should just get yourself a real doll." And you know what his response was? "How degrading," he said. "How degrading." And I said, "You're fucking a pepper, man."
It's
yeah,
nothing. It's how degrading. Oh yes, by the way, shove all the capsaicin up my urethra, please.
I know. I know.
So, well, it's been fun doing a podcast. We'll see you all never.
We know a lot of interesting people. So
you keep telling stories like that, it's going to be we knew.
Yeah. this is not this whole story here. This dread story is not going to end well at all for this poor guy. But hey, that's what you get for being a part of criminal element in Mega City.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't end well for this guy. He threw a child off a building because said child watched him kill somebody else.
Yeah, I guess he's not a good guy.
No, he's not a good guy at all.
We should also mention after this story in the Prague, there's a nice looking Art Stars winner, Matt Clark, who did some great Daffy Duck legs on this Grimlock. Is it Grimlock? Yes. What the fuck's his name? God damn it. I should know this.
Oh, no.
Well, there he is.
The podcast is falling apart right before your ears.
I know. I almost called him Rojaws, then I was like, no, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. But
Odd Job.
No, it's not Odd Job. But either way, nice looking. It'll come back to me at some point. Yeah. That's all I got. It's fantastic.
Jesus Christ. Oh. Maybe we should have recorded an episode while you're on vacation to keep you sharp.
We probably should have, but hey. So what's next?
Here, it's the end of the hunting party, Mephistopheles.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I agree with you. I was bummed out that like it said, the end, that I had to look twice to see and make sure that's what I saw. I look at it as an appetizer, hors d'oeuvre. It will be back.
What I miss? Okay, because I got to the end, and we meet the dude inside. It's driving, I guess, right? And I still didn't know who he was.
He's the corporeal form of Mephistopheles.
Okay.
Apolloneth Morga. He is the human form of, I guess, I don't think he has a physical form. He is astral, and he is trapped in Mephistopheles.
I feel like they presented it. As if it was a big twist. And I was just like, all right. And I was fine. And then I looked down and I saw the end. And I was like, oh, man, I feel like I've wasted my time. I don't care about this. That's how I felt. I was like, what the fuck's going on here?
It'll be back. This definitely was setting the stage for a bigger return. I'm convinced.
I hope so, because here's where I'm at with Mephistopheles. I love the artwork. I love the concept. I still don't care about the story too much, and I want to. So hopefully we go back to some more, because we got to the end and I was just like, man, you can't give me the end there, because now you're Pat Millsing me, and that's not right. That's not right. It felt a little too close to the end of that Slain story, which I guess that's it. There you go.
Now,
Mongrel. There we go. Fucking Mongrel.
You were Googling while we were talking, weren't you? Were you
No.
stalling for time?
No, I'm not stalling for time by saying Mephistopheles is stalling for something. They should have had an ending.
Pardon me, I had to yawn. No, I agree. It was jarring. It was way too soon. But I do feel that it was setting up a larger story.
Well, I hope so. And in reading like this, though, I always read it's got to be a self-contained story. And for this episode, I didn't care about it when it came to the end. So hopefully we expand on the universe, because it really is like once you get to the end part, there's got to be something in there that, like, for me to really enjoy it, that would be something where I would go tell someone like, hey man, there's this, let me show you this story, and this happens. And then this one, it was just kind of like, we get to the end and it's a guy. And
it's a guy.
It's just a guy. I don't know. Maybe I don't understand it. Maybe I missed something. But I was bummed out when I got to the end of Mephistopheles. Maybe because I felt like it ended too soon. Maybe because I just didn't feel like I got enough. But
it's better to leave the party early than overstay your welcome.
I guess that's true. But there's that whole first impressions thing. And my first impression was, what the fuck? Where are we at? What's going on, boys? But hey, it's not the end then. I hope it's not the end. Maybe we'll get more.
It is my strong belief that it, in fact, is not the end.
Good. So that was my first sort of low point of this prog.
Okay.
And, like you said, maybe we're not at the end. Then we went to another high point with Department K, which
we're back to Kirby worship.
Yep. From just like
was it
20
just
minutes
me
ago, still rules.
Or was it just me, or did you also not realize that this locust was a Titan and the way it was drawn at the end of the last chapter?
Oh, no, I did, because I noticed in that frame where it first shows them falling that they're standing there and they're tiny. Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like, it's almost like he's anti-Monitor or Galactus kind of, maybe not a Galactus level, but he's fucking big, man. Yeah.
See, I did not notice that. That's my fault. I apologize. I have failed you all.
So we get a little action where they go inside of the guy and they're fighting like his white blood cell sort of xenomorph creatures, which are really fucking terrifying looking, man.
They just coming out of nowhere with grabby hands.
Oh, they're super fucking creepy, these guys. And
what if they were just trying to say hello and these guys just start shooting and smacking them? And
yeah, you never know. I'm still on the lookout for, hey, it turns out that these starfish motherfuckers are like deceptively docile, and then they're the masterminds behind this, some sort of horrible thing.
So you're saying it's all a work?
I wonder. It's just a little thought in the back of my mind the whole time I'm reading this. And, it probably is the Starro factor that we know we're living in a Kirby universe, and starfish things are not good guys in the fucking Kirby verse. So
what about the chocolate starfish?
That's not in the Kirby universe. I think you're thinking of the Limp Bizkit.
All the kids love the Limp Bizkit.
Oh my lord. You got anything else on this Department K? It's still good. I like it, and I want it to stay.
It's a lot more interesting than I first gave it credit for.
Yeah, we kind of got thrust right into trying to get to know these characters, but after a few issues, I like it more and more every time.
Agreed. There's a lot of personality in here. I like the art. And it just genuinely seems like Kirby worship. So that's never a bad thing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, next we have Skip Tracer, and I was not happy to see Skip Tracer.
Same. I turned the page and went, this is where the Diabolic should be.
I feel like we have given Skip Tracer a lot of, like, we've given it a try a few times, and I think back to when we had Nimrod, and like I was like, you know what, I might like this, and then that one didn't seem to pan out, at least for me, where I was hoping it went. And whatever happened after that, I think Skip Tracer for me is going to be in the same realm as Sinister Dexter, where it's like no matter how much I try to read it and really like it, I just can't seem to get there.
As a wise man once said, it doesn't work for me, brother.
As he rubbed his Fu Manchu mustache.
I'm doing that right now. I don't mean I'd have to shave out the middle of my beard, but no, I gave Skip a try the first time we read it, Nimrod, and then I got no tether to it. I got nothing. Doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean it's good. It just doesn't mean it worked. It's not landing for me.
Yeah, and it's the same for me. So I don't know. I don't know what I could say that's missing. Maybe it's the fact that I still don't really understand our main character. Dalton, is that his name? I don't really understand our main character or identify with him too much. So, like when he unleashes his power here, he comes up against this pretty cool looking weird ass Sentinel robot Ed 209 guy, or more like a Kane guy, but and he has this like classic badass hero moment, you know, where it says like, "Oh, civilians are not authorized to intervene in you know, and whatever he says," and it's like he has that
or
moment
whatever.
where. You know what I'm talking about. It's the big here, and then his eyes light up, and he's like, oh well, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like the big badass reveal, and I'm still like, I don't know what his powers are.
It seems to be a Six-Gun Gorilla thing. His powers are whatever the story needs them to be.
All I know is that his hair has grown out significantly since the last storyline.
Did he have an evil spot goatee the last time? I can't remember.
I don't think he did.
And I don't
care enough. Is this even the same dude? I don't know. I think this is the same dude. I don't know.
I don't care enough to go back and look to see if he did.
But God damn it, we're going to read every week and see if it can pull the old switcheroo on us.
And hope. I'm just reading until the Diabolic shows back up. And I know you and I remain in the minority on that for some weird reason, but Diabolic is fucking great.
Diabolics is one of those things where I really do feel like nobody else gives a shit about it. And and you know what? Big part of it is Salvatore, but I like all of it. I like the constant Dario Argento nods and the subtle horror sort of like Danger Diabolic references and all that stuff. So I'm championing that one to come back as much as possible.
If my little experiment on our Facebook page last Friday night proved anything, our overlapping interests are not universal with the rest of the Dread reading public, at least our listeners.
Oh yeah, I must have missed your study there.
Well, I posted the thing that I sent you.
Yeah,
that we both knew what it was, and you were like, "Oh, I want that on a shirt right now," and I said, "I want to see if anybody else gets this because." And I'm pretty sure that it's just you and me listening to black metal while reading Dread. I don't think anybody else out there is doing that.
Yeah. And you were right, huh?
Yes. There were some guesses. And one guess was just album cover. And I'm like, well, yeah, I guess. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, for all of you who may or may not have seen that, it was my nod to Dark Thrones, a blaze in the northern sky, but with Judge Dredd. So it was a blaze in the East Make sky.
Amazing.
It was perfect. It was perfect. More of you need to listen to black metal.
Well, it's going to be a t-shirt for the two of us
for nobody to buy.
Yeah, we're gonna get them printed up for ourselves, and hey, there you go. Back to Chimsky's Law. This fucking panel where he has his little decision making wheel is my favorite panel.
There you go. That'll fill a spot on the old tattoo sleeve.
Yeah, it certainly would. Yeah. It's funny because I'm studying for a big exam, and I've been studying like career development and career theories and all of this stuff. And there's a point in this story where it's not looking good for Chimsky or all of the apes, and he has some pretty big decisions to make. Escape with everyone, stop the killer, let them all die, get out, solve the crime, find some bananas, alert the judges, escape alone. And it's kind of like a Wheel of Fortune wheel. And it reminded me there are all these theories of how we choose an occupation and how to help somebody determine it. And then there's this little diagram here of Chimsky where it just looks like just a spin, and it lands on let them all die, and he gets the fuck out. He doesn't really, though. He actually has another plan, but
nah, our boy wouldn't do that. He's gonna stop the killer and try to save everyone because he is the only altruistic thing in Mega City 1, even when he's hovering above it for like 8 miles above it.
Right. Yeah, this is true.
Still,
I love a good scared Chimsky face. I love the art in this, and it's largely dependent on the fact that I just love monkeys in general. But PJ Holden draws a good scared monkey.
Man, so it's the house AI that's trying to kill this family, right?
That's what I got. That somehow the either the AI has become sentient or there's someone else running it. We know it's not the Mandrill; he's a dummy. But yeah, I don't know. That's what I got too. That it was just the AI is trying to kill the whole family. And maybe the guy that died programmed it to do that. Maybe he hated his family so much.
I don't care if anybody else survives as long as Gnome survives.
I think he's gonna make it. I think
he has to. He's the only good thing in Mega City 1. They can't kill him.
Yeah. I just don't. 2000 AD has done something where they killed a character like this that was like completely, benign, no reason to kill him, shocking, and that was in Red Razors. Spoiler alert: when they killed the horse.
Mr. Ed.
Yeah, but Chimsky is a much more significant character than that horse, so I don't think they'd do that.
Especially to you. Somebody out there like you but loves horses thought that Mr. Ed was the greatest character ever.
Probably. He never got his own series, though, but
nor did he get to say I am a horse.
He did not. When Mr. Ed died in Red Razors, and I know a lot of people don't like that one either, but I love it. When he died, I gasped out loud like a dork. I'm reading a physical copy, and I went, "Oh my god!" Like
it does come out of nowhere. It's like at the beginning of the second Red Razors that it just happens, and it's so unnecessary. Like, why did you kill Ed?
Yeah, he didn't need to go, but well,
I get so wrapped up in 2008 that there are many a story that have made me gasp. Case in point, the end of Feral and Foe 2.
Yeah,
I gasped, then I had a sad for a hot second. Like I had
Dirty Frank.
Like kind of work through the. Don't even. Oh my God! I hope that Frank gets a ending he deserves in this Hershey debacle, because my God, if anybody deserves to just ride off into the sunset and have a happy ending, it is Dirty Frank.
He has certainly earned it. Yeah, for real.
He definitely feels like one of those characters. Like Rob Williams enjoyed writing him, but I don't think they knew what they had on their hands. And then they pulled what they pulled in Small House, where I went, "Oh my God, why do they kill Frank?" But then he's a sad bald man in Hershey, and I can relate because I'm also a sad bald man, and I've been to Hershey, PA. So
You're making all the connections, even the ones that have no logical reasoning. No,
that's all perfectly logical.
I think that happens a lot in 2000 AD and has since the beginning, where a lot of the creators just kind of throw something in there for fun and then realize that, hey, man, a lot of people seem to like this. Let's do something with it. And the smart ones are the guys that don't kill them off right away, because you never know what's going to be a hit. Like, fuck, people like that. Why we gotta bring that back now? Judge Death is the best example.
Oh yeah, but yeah, Judge Death comes from the we're just going week to week era. They should know better now.
Yeah, exactly.
Although I might be in the minority where I think Dirty Frank is one of the greatest characters ever to grace 2000 AD.
I know you fell in love with that character for sure. He doesn't make my top 10 list, but I'm a big fan as well. But he's not. I'm not in love with him like I am, or like you are.
Well, there's just so much to Frank. There's the at first he's just a lunatic who does a toilet and shouts things like the ass is pierced, and it's funny. But then you get the backstory and you realize why he is the way he is, and he's one of the most just heartbreakingly tragic characters in all of 2000. He's so compelling.
That's true. That's true. He is up there with the Sensitive Clegg.
Oh, Sensitive Clegg.
Just being emotionally compelling. You're not wrong there.
I think Sensitive Clegg had a better ending than its story. I'm not going to assume it's gender, but yeah, Sensitive Clegg got to live. Frank got psychologically pushed into pulling the trigger and having to kill himself so he wouldn't kill Dredd, or so we thought.
Well, and that all comes back to the fact that Dirty Frank is too involved with the Justice Department, and nobody can have a good end when the Justice Department is part of the equation. So,
you know what Dirty Frank's end is? He survives all this fuckery with Hershey, and he gets to go back to the low life where he was truly happy being himself.
Exactly. That would be
put him back in low life.
Now, okay, so if we can give any characters a different ending, who else would you change? Whose story would you brighten or darken? Whose end would you change?
Walter.
Fuck you. God damn it. Oh, see, I thought you were going to do something good there. I thought
Hershey, because like Hershey's been through hell, and now she is where she is, and she's just miserable and not dealing with her own baggage. And so she's in Ciudad Barranquillo, trying to die. She's trying to commit suicide by her own self being a cop. Is what she's doing.
Yeah. I guess she certainly deserves a different end there for sure. I was gonna say I've forgotten his name all of a sudden. The SJS officer who played a big part in the pit. Yeah, Gerhardt. I would like to and that's only selfishly because I just want more of Gerhardt. I like that character, but I mean, his ending was incredibly fitting. Because I mean, really, what other options does he have?
Every character in Mega City 1 that has an interesting arc, you seem like they all go, "How could this get any worse?" And then John Wagner hears that and goes, "Oh, okay, hold on."
Yeah. Hold my pint.
Yeah, I think we can agree that Hershey's current situation is Joe's fault. It's all Joe's fault.
It's all Joe's fault. That is the most true statement of all time. It's all Joe's fault. Joe's finally realizing that, and that's a lot of shit to untangle, though.
You know who really deserves more to their character is fucking Rico, and not new Rico, like Rico Dredd.
There could have been so much more done with that Rico, and that was another circumstance where I don't think they realized how long this thing was going to go,
Yeah. They talked about Dredd's brother, and and he's dead, and Joe killed him. We're like a year in, man. Come on.
Yeah. Now the repercussions, though, I guess we could argue that the repercussions of Joe judging and killing his own brother have been there, throughout and have had a huge impact on the arc of the character and the decisions he makes and the guilt he carries around. So there is that.
The only out they could have is they should still have Rico's DNA sequence on file because he was part of the first batch. So they could plausibly make a new Rico, not just some new clone that takes up the name, but like they should actually have Rico's profile somewhere where they could stop. We got to do another Xerox.
How about this? Oh, and that's an interesting concept because let's say we Xeroxed a Rico and it was a young Rico. You have current Dredd, and they partner them up. You have the potential to have this story where Dredd goes, I know what you became before. It's almost Kraken in many ways, but it's I know what you became before. Can I change it by doing things differently? That would be kind of a super interesting thing. And I don't think 2000 AD would do it because they're not about reboots. And that might be a little bit of a reboot, but how compelling would that be? I mean, we kind of got it with Kraken, but it's just not exactly because there was the Judda factor and there was all those other questions. But hey, we got a rookie. He's young, so he's like, you're not growing up together, the same age. You're now his sort of like you're his partner and
you're his grandpa.
Oh man, that would be a great story, Johnny. It was fucking.
How that would end?
Idea.
We'd be knee deep in Kraken clone corpses because it'd be like Dredd would be Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, where he would just keep fucking it up. No, damn it! And you just shoot him in the head, and we go back to the start. Oh, no, this, and this. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on.
They would, yeah. Control. We need another Rico. Yeah.
We're gonna need another Timmy.
Yeah. Oh man, that's interesting. Yeah. There's some stuff about like when I keep thinking of the Rico not audio dramas, the audiobooks that came out a while back. Like there is a lot of stuff where like Rico's really they play Rico in those as a complete maniac, psychopath, evil person. But I could also see it being really interesting if like there's these, little infractions, little things that Rico does that's not to the letter of the law, but a lot of judges do, like like in the pit, fraternizing with other judges and this and that. And Dredd's like calling him on it, and how much of a role did Dredd play in like because I look at Rico as kind of like, what if Dredd is special, Dredd is different, he's got this hardiness about him where he never cracks under the weight of the justice system, but Rico didn't. And there's a lot of things that these other judges seem to do to just like fucking cope. Like, how do you unwind after your shift? How do you keep that little bit of humanity? And I always wonder, it's like, was it Rico trying to live up to Dredd that did that, and therefore by that also trying to live up to Fargo, whose entire legacy was bullshit?
I don't think Rico was ever burdened by any of that. I think he saw the system for what it was, and Joe was just all about it. Joe bought into the indoctrination, and Rico went, this is all kind of bullshit. And I never saw him as like a raving psychopath. He just seemed like he was much more savvy than Joe and to the real world, and like he wasn't the Joker. He was who he was. He just was smooth about it until he got caught.
Yeah, and there's a little incongruency with that because it's the same here. And unless we just haven't read enough Rico, and we're not talking like post Titan Rico. I'm talking like in those audiobooks. Yeah, it paints a different picture. And I don't know if those are canon or not, but like the thing I always go back to is they're talking about like Rico's thinking about killing this guy. And he starts thinking about like the dude's on a bedpan and he's like, I'm going to drown him to death in his own piss. Like, I can't wait. And it's this real sadistic motherfucker kind of moment. Whereas like the Rico that we've seen in our readings has never been that, it's never been just bad to the fucking core. So I wonder if, and like I said, those stories were before Dredd had judged Rico. It was like he was starting to realize that Rico was doing some shady shit, and Dredd was actually kind of turning a blind eye at that point. So I don't know how much in the canon that is, because even that, like, younger Dredd turning a blind eye to that stuff when you go back to Cadet Dredd, and Dredd's willing to, be kicked off the force for what may or may not have been an accidental firing of his weapon, So I don't know, maybe those aren't canon, but man, they do kind of paint Rico as a crazy motherfucker.
Yeah, see, I never once considered him as that. I didn't think he was crazy. I think he knew what he was doing, and he believed in what he was doing more so than the system.
Yeah.
I also didn't see him as cruel, but like you said, maybe we haven't read enough Rico's stories.
Yeah, either that or the person who had, wrote those audio books, maybe it was kind of just do whatever you want. Because I think those are kind of old. I don't even think those are Rebellion. I might be wrong on that one, but
Good old Egmont.
They're pretty old, yeah. So
we all know the definitive Rico is Armand Assante.
Yeah. He kind of looks like Stallone in the right lighting.
Rico Dredd is Joseph Dredd's clone brother. Armand Assante, come on down. Why didn't they get Frank Stallone? I mean, for fuck's sake.
Just
why not?
Because like me, until maybe a month or two ago, they probably didn't even know Frank Stallone existed.
Oh, you are new to the world of Frank Stallone?
I am pretty new to the world of Frank Stallone. I didn't realize he had a record. That's what I just learned, was that Frank Stallone made a record.
He's got a song on a Rocky soundtrack, sir. I don't know how that got there.
Oh my God. And Frank Stallone is pretty interesting, but not to me. He's not the same level as Don Swayze. Don Swayze for me is the best.
But he's the only Swayze now.
Oh, if he's still around, who knows?
Well, I'm just saying, there's still. I mean, you got like Belushi, and what if all like the oft-forgotten celebrity brothers united and rose up against their famous first older brother oppressors?
There's like a movie somewhere where Frank Stallone, Don Swayze, and Joey Travolta. What the fuck was that movie called? They did a movie
that's a real
together.
thing? I hope it's not a porn.
I will never fucking remember the name of this movie, but yeah, they did a movie, and I want to say it was a fucking action movie. But,
oh my God. It must have won the Oscar for best movie ever made.
I mean, we probably just need to watch it for.
Well, yeah, that's going to be the watch along for the once you get around to doing the hardware post, you may as well wait till Christmas for that one. So it makes more sense.
Dude, it can't be easy to be Don Swayze. It just can't be. It can't be easy.
Imagine being Frank Stallone. You just found out Frank Stallone existed 3 months ago.
That's true.
That dude's like 68.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's true. But hey, I don't know how the fuck we got here.
If you think Frank Stallone's bad, wait till you see my non-talented younger brother, who's even less talented than I am. Jesus, it's Murphy.
Normal Johnny Cool. Normal Johnny Cool.
Moderately cool Johnny Cool.
Yeah. Hey, his penis works even less. I have to say this too.
It's like you've met him.
Did you catch in the
chlamydia? No.
I know we're going back in time, but in the Dredd story, that on the murder tours, they were taking a tour of the home of Allegra Loganberry.
Yeah.
Number 19, to discover the bodies of her husband, his two brothers, and an uncle from Texas City dissolving in caustic slime in the basement. Did you catch that?
I did.
A little PJ Maybe action there.
Yeah. That's is that post Necropolis?
I'm trying to remember. Yeah.
Because that's when he hooked up with her, was PJ being a sociopath, not really giving a shit about what was happening during Necropolis. Just kept doing PJ Maybe shit.
Yeah, it was like a good time for him. It was no problem.
It was Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. There's a little M. Bison quote there. So, yeah, I don't know. I just it was cool. It was a cool little bit of information there, and it's like the Dahmer house now is what I got from that.
And when you go there, you can occasionally see a guy throw a juve off the top parking deck.
Yeah.
God,
Man,
Mega City, what a
that's Mega
shithole.
City for you. Yeah.
What a shithole. No, and did you notice that Chimsky was talking about talking to Mr. Grofaz and Chet when he got back, and he was going to be infinitely more heroic in the story he told them.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm glad
It's still
they're still around.
no, it's still my hope that Mr. Grofaz got shot and the removal man, like he's going to get back and only have Chet to talk to. There can't be two fake Hitlers in Mega City. That's all I'm saying.
I think there's a whole agency.
No. Not even for Mega City is that passable.
Hey, right before we leave, Johnny, we need to write Tharg. We need to write Tharg that letter and tell him it's time to bring back Red Road. Because I was reading the letters to the editor, and a lot of people send in letters that are just like, yo, 2000 AD, all your shit sucks. And this one thing was good, but most of it sucks real bad. A long-time reader, thanks. So we can send it in and be like, hey, bring this back.
I don't know what turgid means, but do the thing I like.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Props to Rebellion for printing that stuff that's slamming them, because that takes some balls. Yeah,
I agree. I think that's the way to do it, though. You don't want to just post the stuff where people are sucking your dick, because sometimes that criticism's warranted, especially someone sends you a letter that says, hey, I'm a longtime reader. I feel like they got the right to voice their opinion there. So.
Yeah, but you and I could say we're longtime readers, and we are, but not consecutively and congruently.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know. Well, we think our opinion matters so much that we record it every week. So
I
can't say anything every so often. Oh my God! Hey, this
every so often cast. Oh, we're leaving. This is cool, Johnny. Cool.
And
Cursed Earth Radio. Fuck it, whatever.
Wiener.
Woof it, you mutt.
Keep listening, creeps.